Hello there, all you amazing people. I'm going to bitch and moan a little bit because this is frustrating the living shit out. I bought an Intel graphic card in February this year, and I've been using it non-stop. And I can, hand on my heart, swear to whoever deity or entity you want to believe in, say that you should not buy an Intel graphic card. That's simple. Can you have a good experience with it? Yes. Is it cheap? Yes. But you can get for the same price, at least in Denmark where I live, you can get 750 or an ARX A750, 750. And depending on the manufacturer, you can get a Radeon RX 7600 for about the same price. Sometimes, $10 more expensive. But here's why it matters. So I have the A750. This should be a better card than the 7600. It should be a better card than a lot of other cards out there. But it's underperforming in most games compared to other cards out there that on paper are less powerful. Why are you saying, Kent? Why are you so angry at Intel when on paper the hardware is amazing? It is. This up here, the driver, the software support, is the issue. A billion-dollar company like Intel have not managed to figure out how to do graphic card drivers, even though they have done graphic card drivers on internal GPUs, on CPUs for probably decades now, at least over a decade. But somehow they can't seem to get it right on the good old dedicated card. If you played Starfield at day one, you could not play it, because they haven't forgotten or didn't really optimize their drivers for that game yet. So if you pre-ordered it, bought it to play on day one, you had to wait, I think it was 2 or 3 days before it could play it, so basically when everyone else could. Okay. Nice work, I guess. Yeah, I can see that be a thing. And then it's just issue after issue after issue. I have 2 monitors. I don't even know if I can I show you guys that if I could do it like this here? No, I can't. No, I can't because I'm displaying the browser. But I have 2 monitors. I have a HDMI DP DisplayPort plugged into the graphic card, and it worked amazingly up till May. Then I started to get a little bit of issues. Then about June, July, I couldn't open the control center anymore. Because I have a Ryzen 7600. Is it a 7600? Am I getting confused right now? Yeah, 7600X as the same as the graphic card apparently. And if I show you guys that right now, I don't know if I can show Task Manager. I cannot show Task Manager. We're doing a little bit of interception here. So maybe I can do it like this. There you go. So you can see my CPU is going mental because I'm recording right now. But down here, this is my GPU that I'm using right now. And here's the funny thing. You see the 3D encoder going nuts? I am not even using the onboard 3D encoder for OBS Studio. I'm doing the Inception here. Ba-ba. You know why? Because it don't work. It won't sometimes say, you can use QuickSync. Oh, now you can't because you don't have a graphic card. Oh, now you can use it. Oh, now you can't because you don't have a graphic card. I have had programs I booted up with good old... So let's start again here. I have had I have games I can't use because they don't want to recognize that I have a graphic card. That's not a hardware issue. That's not a motherboard issue. It's a driver issue. I can't use XSplit, or at least last time I tried a month ago, because it won't recognize my graphic card. If I play 2 or 3, or let me put it this way, if I have 2 YouTube videos open, or a YouTube video and a let's say, it don't matter what browser it is, and then I have like just a normal web page up and I put them into split screen. You know, you can put one into one side of the screen, not split screen, but you can tile the windows. If I do that and I scroll up and down, it starts to make the video choppy. If I'm playing a game and I'm not even utilizing 90% of my graphic card and I'm watching a video, it will sometimes start to get choppy and YouTube lower it all the way down to the lowest resolution because it thinks the graphic card is overworking. And when I'm looking at the graphic card, it's like 80%, maybe 70%, 60% on everything. Not to talk about a lot of games, if they work with the graphic card. they just randomly crash. If they work. I can't play Starfield right now because it's crashing all the time. So back to the issue that I was starting to talk about, that I have 2 graphic cards because there's one on my iGPU, or on my CPU, sorry. Intel Radeon graphic cards built into the CPU, and I'm like, I remember back in the day when I did YouTube and I had an Intel system. I could use my Nvidia graphic card to play the game, and I could use the onboard Intel graphic card as an encoder for OBS. Let me do that, not working. The Intel drivers acting up. And then, like I said, about June, July, I couldn't use the control center anymore. And I went nuts to figure out what the problem is, and it turned out to be that this is another fucking stupid aspect of the Intel support chain and software chain, why you should not buy this graphic card. I went onto their good old forums here to figure out why couldn't I play, or why wouldn't it open. And it was like, oh yeah, send us, your system specifications and do a core dump and all that fucking shit. And people did that. Like, oh, we know what the issue is. You also have installed the AMD Adrenalin, or what is called software. You can't have 2 display or graphic card software installed at the same time. Never had an issue before. Never. I have had Intel graphic card software installed along Nvidia and AMD when I had AMD, not an issue. But their solution was to go in to do the DDDYU, what the fuck is called, to uninstall drivers and uninstall the AMD Adrenalin software. So now I can utilize all the features on my onboard graphic card that is in my CPU. Really good work, Intel. Thank you so much, smart people of Intel. But I still, I still have 2 screens. This is kind of why this broke the camel's back today, and you see this up here because this is something that is not uncommon, that dual display is issues with Intel Arc graphic cards, but also how batshit crazy they're handling. I can't even start to explain it, but it worked this morning. And because I'm a fat fuck, I'm like, Kent, you need to get some exercise. Go and get some yogurt at the local shop. I craved a yogurt, so I went out for a walk. And when I came home and I was watching a YouTube video, actually Law Talk with Mike. I like to watch these trials going on just for fun. And there was no sound coming out anywhere. And I was like, oh, it changed the sound device. Why the fuck did it change the sound device? I didn't, pay much attention to it. It could just be Windows having this. And then I was like, oh, let's see what's going on Discord, which is on my second screen, and it was just blank. I'm like, what the fuck? What? And then I looked at my settings monitor, and there was 2 screens, and one of them was just a little square, and I couldn't do anything with it. Like, what the fuck? What? Okay. Maybe it's an old screen. Maybe it was fucked up. So I have 2 or 3 or 4 screens laying around. So I took a screen out of storage. Basically, it's a stockpile of shit over in the corner, and I plugged it in. Still not working. And I'm like, what? And I rebooted. Still not working. HDMI port still did not work. Let me plug it into the onboard graphic card. Now it's working. I'm like, this is really weird. So I went on to the good old interwebs and search for the issue. So here it says here, Intel Arc graphic card stops displaying to monitor black screen. This is basically more than likely if you're using HDMI and DisplayPort, because it only has one HDMI port, by the way. So this is their solution. Sometimes unplugging, plugging it back in again, fixed it, done that. Sometimes display works brief, then the display goes black, repeat, unplug and plug in, doesn't work. Resolution, update to the latest graphic card driver. I did that 2 days ago. That's when this issue came. I am running this version here, the latest version of the graphic card. So I'm like, I can't be the only one having this issue. And now we're going to see how Intel support is the worst on fucking earth. We go on in here, and this is a long thread, but this really caught my arms. So they were trying to help him. Some magic guy from Intel was trying to help him, I guess, here. Called Hugo. Yeah, Hugo Intel here. Hey, Hugo. I really don't want to sound rude, but to be clear, you want me to remove my GPU, which will mean I'm unable to use the PC. It's my main case, so he don't have an onboard graphic card again. Find a way to crash the computer, because I'm pretty convinced that the crash is incurred, only to see that it happens with the different setup, which won't happen because at this point I'm pretty obviously this is the driver. To be honest, it don't really seem to the point. So what they kind of want to do here is unplugging the graphic card. This is not uncommon. I've had massive issue with Intel graphic cards, and the first solution is reinstall the drivers. Go into safe mode, reinstall the drivers. The second solution is take the graphic card out and put the old one in to see if it's working. Most people don't have their old graphic cards laying around because graphic cards nowadays are expensive. So they more than likely have sold the old graphic card to then get the new one. Even a budget and like Intel's graphic cards, they more than likely have sold their old card. The other solution is, like I said, is just reinstalling Windows is another one they have. And here, this is their go-to. Reinstall into safe mode, take it out, blah, blah, blah. This is what they want you to do all the fucking time. Every issue there is with an Intel graphic card, give us a core dump, give us a dump file. Try remove the graphic card, try installing other software, reinstalling Windows, update the driver. What? I just can't fathom that this big of a company can't do software. This is on par. Like, honestly, I honestly think that the Nivuo driver, you know, the open source NVIDIA driver on Linux is better coded than this piece of shit here, to be honest. Because this seems like this is like a group of 5 people that are trying to get this graphic card to work. It's either they are massively underfunded or massively incompetent. For fuck's sake, they made the graphic card. And their solution is, oh, try another graphic card. Try reinstalling Windows. What? What about fixing your fucking shit? And if you look here at, this is typical for a driver update for Intel Arc. They fix a couple of games, but then they have like known issues. Where the fuck are they? They don't even put them up here. Yeah, here, known issues, fixed issues, known issues. Basically, if you're playing Starfield, forget about Intel graphic cards, okay? If you're playing Uncharted, Halo Infinite, every time they fix something, more things break. They fix 2 things and then 3 or 4 things is even worse. Another fun thing, I just booted into my system here and I have the Intel software running. It's utilizing every bit of fucking RAM on my system. If you don't believe me, let's take a look again here. Let's do some interception. This is with the new driver. After it crashed my HDMI port, it's doing this. So let's go in and do this again here. You see the RAM module up here. If I go in here and do RAM, oh, so is CPU. Oh no, process list. Intel Arc Control Center. 19 gigabyte of fucking RAM. Running, doing nothing. So if I go in here and I end this fucking task because I'm so close to just fucking taking out my 1060 and putting it in again. Now I'm only using about 10 gigs out of 30 gigs of memory. That's Intel for you. They can't do drivers to save their fucking life. Here's the thing, okay? I have had this card outperform NVIDIA and AMD card that's way fucking more expensive in really few select game. If you look at it overall, like we don't look at the benchmarks the YouTubers do and stuff like that because they don't live with it. They put it in the system, they install the drivers, purge the old drivers, they do some benchmarks, they take it out, they put it on a shelf. They don't live with it. And if you do that with the Intel graphic card, it's a good fucking graphic card. But when you live with it day to day, you see all of these small irritation. YouTube videos starting to stutter for no fucking apparent reason, and lower resolution. And that stopped happening the second if I plug my second screen into my onboard graphic card and I play YouTube videos on that screen, basically using the iGPU. Never happens. Never happens. So that means it's not a window issue. That means it's not a YouTube issue. It's not a browser issue. It's an Intel issue. I right now have to use 2 graphic cards to do 2 screens on Intel Arc. A thing graphic cards has been able to do since the 90s with no fucking issues. Even Intel graphic cards, onboard Intel graphic cards. Some reason this can't. It's the worst buying decision I have ever made in my life was to buy this graphic card. I was stupid to think that, oh, Intel, billion-dollar company, lot of fucking smart people working there. They know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to hardware and chips and stuff like that. They must fucking, invest a lot of money into this. And it seems like all the money went into the hardware and not the software. Because when you look at the spec sheet of this graphic card, it's an amazing graphic card. It's a beautiful graphic card. I love looking at it. When it works amazing. But then then the software just let it down over and over again. And here's where the incompetence comes into it. With solutions like this, take it out. How the fuck am I going to test my system if I take out my graphic card? Not everyone has onboard graphics on their chipset. Not everyone, and most people don't have their old graphic cards. I'm just stupid enough to save them because I have like a thing about old graphic cards. I don't know why I like having them. I just like having them. I've seen so many forum threads where people, they went in here to get help in here with their graphic cards, so then end up, don't matter, I return the graphic card. Or they find some hacked way of doing it that, again, in my solution here is to basically just use the onboard graphic card for the second screen. They're doing all of these crazy things to make it work. We are living in 2023. We are buying, granted, a first-gen graphic card for a company. But when you think about it, they know how to do hardware. They've done Intel chipsets for decades after decades. But it's again, like I said before, it's not the hardware that's the issue here. It's the software. I've done so much troubleshooting since I got this graphic card to figure out what the fuck is wrong with it. And I've been blaming Windows, I've been blaming game developers, I've been blaming X, Y, and Z, and I must be honest here, it almost all the time boils down to driver issues. And I could understand it if you were like 6 months into the release cycle of this fucking graphic card. I don't know when it came out, but let's just look at the 770 here. Let's see when it got released. So we're almost a year into the lifespan of this graphic card, and it hadn't gotten better. They have done a lot of optimizations to games. That's amazing if you only fucking play games. If this graphic card, let's put in a scenario here. You boot into your computer, Steam went up in big screen mode, and you played games. That's the only thing you're doing. You don't do anything else. You're not doing word processing, YouTube watching, Pornhub watching, researching how to get a bigger penis or get more successful with the humans, and none of that. You just boot it up in big screen mode on Steam and you play games. You would probably not have that much issue with it. And you did it on let's say a big television or something like that. You could probably be fine. You still have issues in some games, but for the most part, you will have a really, 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 really good time. When it starts to fuck up is when you're doing everything else. Video editing. Some video software won't recognize it. Recording fucking videos. Using other pieces of software. I use Affinity Design. I don't know if they fixed this, but I had to hack the init file to get it to work. You basically have to disable hardware acceleration, or else it wouldn't work on the Intel cards because of driver issues. But granted, that's a few months ago. I haven't seen if they fixed it. But yeah, a lot of software, a lot of non-gaming related shit have massive issues with the graphic card. I cannot stress this enough. If you're doing anything else than gaming, anything else, just for 5 minutes a day, don't buy this graphic card. This graphic card will be really, really well suited as a gaming PC in your living room that only did gaming, maybe watching Netflix. But again, now gladly enough, I can open up the control center now to set some parameters. But I have to close it again because it eats up all my RAM for some fucking weird reason. Not only can they not do software, their solutions to shit is so ass backward. It's kind of like they think people have just money throwing around. Oh, try and buy a new graphic card, put it in and return it and stuff like that. I've seen something in that nature also. They are so out of fucking touch. Now I'm thinking about it. This would make sense if they were using college student that was taking like a software degree or something like that to build this for them, build the software for them. Because it's like talking to a teenager when you see the responses that they give people in the forums. You know, it's like talking to someone that know basically almost nothing about fucking graphic cards. And then after like a long ass fucking thread and people basically getting frustrated with me, oh, we're sending it to the R&D department or something like that. It takes them so fucking long to recognize that they fucked it up. What will kill the Intel graphic cards is not the hardware. It's amazing, it's beautiful, and when it works amazing. It's the driver, it's the software. And I feel a little bit that Intel is falling into the problem that hardware companies tend to fall into, and they are like, well, hardware is the main focus, and then they they forget about software. The same way that a software company that is doing hardware, they think that the software is the most important thing, and then they give you subpar crappy hardware. It works together. You cannot have great hardware and shitty software. Please don't buy an Intel graphic card. It's the worst piece of shit to ever exist. Not the graphic card, the software. See you all later. Bye bye.